Welcome to Kentucky Football Nation. Let's talk about the Tennessee situation with Nico Lamaleava. I hope I said that right. Their quarterback. I've heard that pronounced a certain ways, so I'll just say Nico. He's wanting to renegotiate an $8 million NIL deal that he signed a couple years ago. Breaking news for Kentucky fans: we found out the hard way about NIL because we just had a Cadian Lewis, a point guard from DC, decommit from us yesterday. So the kid wanted more playing time. We picked up Jalen Lowe from Pittsburgh, so now the kid's not going to get to play as much, so he left. And that's the way the NIL world is going to work. But let me start off by saying I really like Josh Heupel. There's some overrated coaches in the SEC. You can look at my other videos where I've talked about some of them. Our coach hopefully isn't one of them. But Josh Heupel, definitely not overrated. I mean, he's the real deal, especially offensively. You try to call a better offensive game than he does, you're going to have to work hard to do that. And yeah, they lost to Ohio State, but look, Ohio State was just a better team, especially that night. And that happens. But it wasn't because of Josh Heupel. So I have a lot of respect for him. So Nico, he was the #1 high school quarterback, and he's from California. And Tennessee was able to sign him. So that in and of itself was a major accomplishment for Tennessee. He signed, an $8 million deal, but it had certain parameters where once he got to the third year, it would give him more and more money. So now he's done 2 years, going into his third year. Him and his dad want to renegotiate the deal, which of course they do. The only bad thing is he doesn't show up for spring practice. He doesn't tell the Tennessee staff, so they get blindsided. The kid doesn't show up for spring practice, doesn't say anything. I guess there was a social media post by his dad saying something about it. So, they're really not happy about him not showing up for spring practice. And now I have heard through some Tennessee channels that they've renegotiated some deals this spring with some players already. And I'm sure he wants to renegotiate the deal. So he's basically holding out right now. And the portal reopens on April 16th. So, I don't know if Tennessee can get this deal done or if he's going to leverage the portal to get more money. It just depends on how this goes. But this is the new world of NIL that we live in. I mean, you got to re-recruit your team every year. This is why Nick Saban left, because kids, your own team comes up to you, basketball, football, and how much playing time am I going to get? How much money am I going to get? It's starting to turn into the NFL. So it remains to be seen, because I think Tennessee, they already signed the top quarterback for 2026. So look, they've only got to make it 1 year with a different quarterback if he were to leave. And then they got the top quarterback for 2026. So, hey, Tennessee, wow. I mean, that's amazing. Josh Heupel. So they might have to, I don't know what the second string quarterback for Tennessee's name is. I heard he's a decent quarterback. I mean, if you had to get through 1 year and wait for the best guy and get him, then they could do it. And, one thing I want to ask, it's important to me, Tennessee fans, has he underachieved? That's my question for you guys. Now, I don't know. I'm not a Tennessee fan, so I don't follow it that well. I just know they've been winning and they made the playoffs, but I don't know how well he's played or he hadn't played. So has he underachieved, or has he played up to the $8 million? That's my question for Tennessee fans. And of course, if you guys haven't heard, Michigan signed a high school quarterback, Bryce Underwood. This kid hadn't taken a snap. He's in high school. They gave him $10.5 million in an NIL deal. That's where we're headed. $10 million a player. As I've said in my previous videos, no way are we or any other school. You're not going to be able to be good at two sports. You're going to have to pick one, football or basketball. Because when it's $10.5 million for a player, even if it's 5 or 6 basketball players, how are you going to afford that? So I feel sorry for Mark Stoops because, look, Kentucky's always going to focus on basketball. I'm not going to sit here and say we're a basketball school, but, I mean, come on. You see it with Mark Pope. you see the excitement with basketball. We've always been a basketball school. Look, we had Bear Bryant and Adolph Rupp, and Bear Bryant left because he knew, he even said, basketball is always going to be bigger than football. So if Bear Bryant knew that, then yeah, let's just all be honest with ourselves. You know, we're a basketball school. That's just the way it is. But I like football as much as I like basketball, and I would like to see us win. So before I get off of here, let's talk about the House versus the NCAA lawsuit. I don't know if you saw Greg Sankey and some of the other commissioners on Fox News and CNN with some of the House of Representatives. There's a lawsuit, House versus NCAA. They're trying to settle it. Of course, the conferences want to have a salary cap. Well, of course they do. So they're trying to add layers of regulations to this settlement with the NCAA, and then that way they can control how much money the players make. I don't know how that's going to go over. And I don't know how it's going to go as far as NIL. If an average fan can give money, or any business can give money for NIL, then how can you make a salary cap? I don't know how that's going to work. So, you know, that's my thoughts on this. You know, players deserve money. I do agree. Do players deserve a salary cap? I don't know about that. But if you don't get a salary cap, I mean, they're going to be making as much as NFL players. $10.5 million for a high school kid? Can you imagine being 18 years old and somebody offering you $10.5 million? I mean, you're set for the rest of your life. You don't even have to be any good. So, you know, hey, Michigan, they got the money. So, hey, it's going to be the Big Ten and the SEC. So I will end by saying this. I gave a shout out to Josh Heupel. I think, I have a theory, see if you guys agree with this. I think the Big Ten has caught the SEC because of coaches, not because of players. They have better coaches. We have some overrated coaches who haven't done well at all. And I'm not going to go through the list. You can look at my previous videos. But our coaches have to do a better job. Yes, NIL money. Yes, Michigan, Ohio State, and of course Alabama, Texas, and Tennessee's always going to have NIL money for football. It's understandable. But the coaches have to do better if they want to win championships and dominate in football again. Because, hey, why do we dominate in basketball? The coaches. Yes, players were important, but you look at all the coaches in basketball for the SEC. Bruce Pearl, all the great coaches. Mark Pope came up and did a good job. And then Nate Oates, and now Florida's coach. I'm sorry, Florida escapes me. It shouldn't, but his name escapes me. Todd Golden. Once again, coaches are the ones I think that win championships as much as players. So, hey, Tennessee fans, good luck with the Nico thing. But if not, even if he goes, yeah, you got this kid in 2026. So, okay, you have a down year, and then boom, you're back up in 2026. Hey, good luck with that situation. If you like this channel, please hit that subscribe button. We will be putting out videos regularly, but also have a shorts portion of my channel where I'll be putting out older Kentucky football clips from players in the 70s and 80s, because we had some really good players in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and we had lousy coaches. Well, we didn't have lousy coaches. We had some lousy coaches. But those players didn't get the respect that they should have got, because we just had awful football teams. Bill Curry, a lot of good players, and so I just want to give them their props. So once again, thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe button.